thank you for being here. It's a big pleasure for us. And yes, we have some questions we would like to ask you. First, we know SAP has announced its intention to become the cloud company powered by HANA. Could you please clarify what this means in terms of SAP's overall strategy, and can you share how SAP will support their customers in adopting new innovations and moving to the cloud?
Yes, so you know, it's interesting to see how the evolution to the cloud is actually progressing in Europe. Last year in December, I was talking to the analysts, and they were telling me how fast is the cloud adoption in North America. You have to know that for SAP, the cloud revenue in North America is almost the equivalent of the on-premise software revenue. It's 1-to-1, just to give you an idea. And we were far away from that in Europe. So they were asking me, and I said, well, I don't think that in Europe we'll adopt cloud solution as fast as they did in the US. I thought it will be more progressive, people will take more time. And I was also mentioning that there is a difference between the north and the south of Europe, suggesting maybe that we have the sun in the south, so we have no clouds that doesn't come here.
Probably.
And the reality is that I was wrong. I was completely wrong. In the last 9 months, the cloud adoption in South Europe is surpassing the one in the north. The growth rate we see in the south is actually higher than in the north. And Italy, Spain have seen triple-digit, 4-digit growth in the cloud revenue in the last few months. That means that our customers are adopting cloud solution very, very fast. And it's not one transaction, it was a number of transactions that makes a difference. So I believe that I need to revise my judgment and say now that cloud is happening in Europe very, very fast. People are moving to the cloud solution, I would say almost as fast as they can. And let me try to explain why, because I think it's very important to understand what is the dynamic behind the cloud. I think that it has very little to do with cost. That's my own judgment. I think there is a cost element. I think I was mentioning yesterday that you probably can buy a terabyte of storage online for less than $1 per month today, which you go to Amazon or other websites. So yes, the storage is very cheap. But I don't think this is the only criteria or reason why people are moving to the cloud. I think the promise of the cloud is the speed. And it's a simple way of using it. It's easy to maintain, it's easy to use, it's easy to implement, definitely easier in the mind of the people than the normal on-prem applications. And because of all of that, the easiness to access to cloud solution, and the speed to implement and go live, and the reaction of the end users to adopt more rapidly those solutions, I believe cloud solutions will prevail in the very near future, anywhere in Europe. Now, is this going to be only public cloud? Probably not. I believe that public cloud is good for commodity processes. You need probably more private cloud for more complex and specific solutions. But it will still be moving from on-prem to cloud and moving from perpetual license to subscription. And that's, I think, what is happening. And I'm absolutely sure it will happen in the very short period of time also in Europe. When I was, you know, we have a private equity firm kind of a organization. We try to discuss with a lot of private equity so that we can know what they, you know, of course for us is to know about the companies they have in their portfolio, trying to influence their IT decision. But it is also to know where they go, you know, where they make, because these guys have a lot of money and we need to know where they're going to invest in IT. And I was meeting with all of them in London not long ago. It was 3 weeks ago. And we had a dinner, and at the end of the dinner, I was just asking them, so what guys are you thinking about the cloud? And they were telling me, Frank, it's very simple for all of us around the table. If the company is not cloud-based or cloud-oriented, we don't invest 1 penny in any companies in the world, not even 1 single penny. That's the decision. So imagine these guys have billions of euros that are investing, buying and selling companies. They have decided to shift 100% their investment on software to cloud solutions. I have no doubt. Look at the Microsoft campaign on TV. They talk about only one thing, is the cloud.
Yeah.
And that's true for all the vendors. Look at SAP, what SAP is saying, becoming the cloud company powered by HANA. So I think that we should not fight the move and the motion to the cloud. It is the right thing, probably for the companies. It is going to simplify, I go back to this basic principle, it's going to simplify the way we sell, the way we implement, the way we maintain, and the way we run applications in the future. And that's why it's very important for SAP to become the cloud company and to lead this process as fast as we can.
Okay, thanks. It was also great to hear you and Bill speak early today about the importance of SAP user groups. Could you tell us more about how you see this group providing value to our members, companies, and increasing the number of our participants? How will SAP help the sub-user groups to grow?
So I actually met the association, I think it was 18 months ago. I had the opportunity to have a lunch with the people that was in charge at this moment. And we discussed already the evolution of the user group in Spain and what is happening. And I think that for us it's very important to have a very strong user group. I believe it is, first of all, for us it's a very good, it's good to get the opinion of the user group about what we are doing right, what we are doing wrong. It's a kind of a sounding board for us. So we can really listen from you what we need to fix. And I also believe it has a lot of influence on future customers. They want to know, and they want to talk to existing customers. They want to know if they are happy or not. They want to know how we treat them compared to other companies. And, you know, maybe naively, I believe that there is a difference between SAP and other companies, software companies in this aspect. Before I joined SAP, I was working for a US firm. I will not give you the name. I don't want to mention anything. But I saw the difference. When I joined SAP, you know, after 2 or 3 weeks as a president, I had an escalation, what we call a global escalation, with one customer, a critical incident. And I saw how was the reaction of SAP. The reaction of SAP was to send a SWAT team from Waldorf to work 24/7 at the customer site to fix it. They didn't ask who is in charge, who is accountable, where the problem is coming from. Is it an SAP issue or a platform or a database? They didn't ask who is paying for the bill. They just sent the team and fixed the issue. And the whole idea was we should not start talking about that when a critical incident is happening. We just have to fix it. Then later on, we leave the market, you need to decide what they want to do with this. But the SWAT team is not even considering any cost or relevant issues. They just do the job. In my previous company, my task when something like that was happening was to try to minimize the cost by negotiating with the customer when he was in a deep shit to pay me something so I can send somebody to fix it. That's a completely different approach. And I think that I'm proud to be at SAP because I think we are respecting the customer very much. We still have a lot to do and we still have a lot to improve, but I think we want to have this fair relationship and long-term relationship with the customers. And the user group is the best and the most eminent, I would say, representation of this long-term partnership. Now, one thing we can do, which I think I discussed that with the brewer already last time, is I think we need to promote more the fact that people should be part of this user group when we recruited new customers. And I think maybe what we can do is to make sure that anytime we have a new customer coming on board, and we have a few, by the way, or a lot, I should say, because believe me, we are trying to do our best to gain market share against the competition, then we should inform you so that immediately we put you in contact with the customers and trying to pitch what it is about and the benefits for them to join the association. So maybe we can just prepare a joint letter that we can send to the customer after we sign a new contract to introduce the association to all of them.
Perfect. Another question, it's about another topic. A recent European study name the changing role of IT and what to do about it, shows that business areas, not IT, are now managing IT investments. While in Spain and Portugal this is less the case, 38% versus 47% in EMEA, do you see this is a growing trend that will stick? And if so, how do you think will change the CIO's role?
So I think it's a very important question, and I think it's actually very critical right now. Either the CIO will play a major role in the new transformation, or I think their mandate will decline severely in the near future. Let me try to explain why I'm saying that. By 2020, 90%, 90, of the IT spending will be done around 4 areas: cloud, big data and analytics, mobile, and social media. Today, those areas are not the key focus for the CIO. We're still focusing on internal processes. So the idea or the concept or what every analyst is saying is that the shift is going to be from internal IT to external IT. The spending is going to move from internal processes to external processes. Yeah. How to recruit customers, how to exceed customer expectation, how to know more about the market, how to run and to take advantage of the social network. These are the future transformation of every single company. Whether you are in public sector and you talk about the citizen, or you are in a private business and you talk about your consumers or your customers. I believe that the CIO should lead this transformation and should shift from focusing on internal processes to external processes and be the one leading this transformation on big data and what does that mean and how do we go to those social network instead of trying to fight that or to stay on the ERP side of the business and leave to other people to take care of the rest. If we can help you to get into this big data and the transformation in the social network with SAP solutions that will allow you to demonstrate that you can be the catalyst to come into this new world and be the one to transform the company to move to this digital world, then I believe that we can help the CIO mandate and we can have the CIO moving and becoming the transformation agent for the companies. Okay. But it's absolutely important that we work together to embrace those new areas and understand that we need to change our mindset and we need to move from, again, internal IT to external IT together.
Okay, thanks. And one last question from our side. The economic situation, you know, has left some impressive numbers of unemployment, which stand over 27 million in the region, especially affecting young people. What can companies like SAP do to change this situation?
So thank you for asking this question because I think it's really a drama in our region, in Europe. If we look at the young, you know, when we were, I'm talking about people from my generation, you know, 50 plus, you will recognize yourself. But when we were young, we never thought about being employed or not, finding a job or not. It was evident that everybody will have a job. Yeah. And nobody was really worried about getting a job if you really want to work. Today, we know that our kids, our children, even though they go to universities and college and schools, that's the drama because they're all scared that they will not find a job. And I think it's a real drama because if the new generation is desperate, then there is no future for our civilization. So I think that everybody should fight this disease that the millennials and the young generation doesn't find their way to get a place in this society. At SAP, we really try to, I would say, contribute to that as much as we can. We have created what we call the SAP Academy, which is a possibility for people to register. And we are doing multiple things. First of all, the Academy is something that we do online when people can get access to SAP material, education, and get certified so they can try to find a job as an SAP certified consultant or operator. And we offer that to free of charge to multiple countries so they can give access to many graduates to get access to this SAP material and content. We also do a lot of graduate programs and undergraduate programs where we try to recruit people in many countries in Europe and give them a job. So we have right now, for instance, more than 150 people from Europe, from all over the countries. And we recruited them at, they are between 22 and 25. We give them a 1-year training. They go from one continent to another. They spend two months in California, 1 month in Germany, and they go around. And the whole idea is after 1 year, they join the company as a, either a junior consultant or a junior in sales or a telesales. And the idea is to get those young graduates on board. But I think that this is probably the most important challenge that we all have in the Western Europe, is to take care of the new generation and make sure that we find a place for them.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you much for being here and participating in our forum, Frank. It's a big pleasure for us. I don't know si alguien del público quisiera realizar alguna pregunta. Tenemos la oportunidad tenéis la oportunidad de poderla formular. Anybody would like to ask something?
Absolutely. Well, yesterday you were not shy during the dinner, huh?
Okay.
I asked the guy, by the way, I asked the magician, he came to me and said, hey, Franck, I said, I'm not going to sleep tonight. Can you tell me how you did with this jacket? I really need to understand. Yeah. He said, well, you have to invite me in France if you want me to know, so I have to invite him in France now.
Okay. Okay, si no hay más preguntas.
Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you.
Big pleasure.